WWE fans are wrong about Jey Uso, and I am calling you out. You have officially been put on notice. The Jey Uso haters, the Jey Uso doubters, if you will, y'all are on notice. And I'm going to prove y'all wrong. Look, we know that Jey Uso is coming off the biggest win of his career, winning this year's Men's Royal Rumble match, outshining, outlasting some of the biggest names in pro wrestling today, some of the biggest names in the history of pro wrestling, beating out John Cena, last eliminating what is the WWE GOAT, last going over CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and many, many more. This Royal Rumble was absolutely stacked. It was absolutely insane about how much talent was on showcase, how much talent was there in the ring. That in itself, the fact that Jey Uso outlasted some of these names in the match, that is one thing. That is amazing in itself. It's also amazing the fact that he last eliminated John Cena, a guy who is in his retirement tour. This is it for him in WWE. He is retiring at the end of this year. No more John Cena. No more. You can actually see, you will not be able to see him after this year. His persona will finally come true, right? He has said that he will hang up the George and everything like that. And so Jey Uso eliminated John Cena. This is a week after this man lost to Gunther, our World Heavyweight Champion, in the main event of Saturday night's main event. This is a guy that has been continuously pushed as a top star, yet every single time that he's in a big spot with a big match, with a big opponent for a big title, he always comes up short. That's what he does. He loses. It's just a fact of the matter of it. And I think the fact that he lost to Gunther the week prior was a massive, massive shock once he eliminated John Cena. No one saw it. He was a dark horse, sure, because, well, they're always trying to look and create new talent. The only problem is, one, he's 40. Two, he doesn't fit the WWE mold as terms of a world champion. And so when he won the Royal Rumble, everyone was in shock because they didn't see it coming. Now that leads me to today's video. Those fans who say that Jey Uso should not win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, that he cannot be a WWE World Heavyweight Champion, they're wrong. They are absolutely wrong. And I'll tell you why. You look at the history of that title. You look at the history of those who have held the championship. He can win one. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Jey Uso goes to Vegas this April, mid-April, by the way, for whatever reason that for, on Easter. What are we doing? And wins the world title. Dethrones Gunther. Right? It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not out of the realm of possibility that he holds the title for a month and then loses it right back to Gunther. Like, a la his Intercontinental Championship run with Braun Breaker. Because you don't know what WWE has in store for Jey Uso. That's the thing. That's the kicker. That's the unthinkable. That's the unpredictability. You'd never know what they're going to do with this guy. They could push him to the moon. They could give him a championship, and then they can take it away right afterwards. So while he may not fit the mold as a world champion, he may not fit your mold as a world champion, he may not fit their mold as a world champion, he may not have the best promos, he may not have the best in-ring ability. Jey Uso is over like Rover. He gets the biggest reactions out of anyone on the shows. And when you're over like that, you draw money. And when you draw money, you're put on top because you can draw further big money. That is the name of the game. That has been the history of the pro wrestling industry for years. It will always be like that. AEW may want to think that they can break the mold in that regard. They are wrong. 5-star matches do not draw money. Star power and interesting characters and storylines draw money. The Attitude Era built that. They had some of the worst pro wrestling you will ever see. But by God, they had over guys and they had over storylines and the fans were bought into it. That's what works in pro wrestling. So if you don't think Jey Uso is WWE champion worthy, if you don't think he looks the part, acts the part, talks the part, wrestles the part, you're probably right. But if you are over to the point where you have to play your theme song twice so you can yeet with everyone in the crowd every single night that you make your entrance, you're over. Like, it's not that complicated. It's pretty slam dunk simple. And at the end of the day, Jey Uso is over. And that's what you have to worry about. That's what, if you're WWE, that's your number one primary focus heading into Mania. How do we keep Jey Uso this over, if not more over? That's it. Right? Don't beat him into oblivion. Make it very clear that he's going after Gunther. He's going to be the world champion. That is it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. It's that simple. And if you can do that, then you're going to be A-okay. And I think that is the Jey Uso story. I think Jey Uso is a guy that is absolutely going to win the world title come WrestleMania. I really do. I think he is so over right now that WWE is not going to try to screw that up. And for his sake, for his hope, I hope they try not to screw it up either. He's that good. He's that talented. He is that extreme. And so if you can keep him over as much as he is, then you do it. You do it as much as you can. I think he is going to go on a run where he is very protected. I think he's going to go on a run where you have to book him in smart matches against smart guys, against over guys, and you have to keep winning. The name of the game with Jey Uso for the next 2.5 months, because we have a long time until WrestleMania, because they pushed it back to Easter. Why? Why are we pushing it back to Easter? You have to book him very, very strong. Like, there are no losses. There are only big matches. Now, I'm not saying he has to go in there and beat CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, 3 weeks in a row on Monday Night Raw. I'm not saying that. That's ridiculous. I'm just saying anytime you book him, make sure, it's not Tozawa or someone like that. And I don't think they'll do that, but like, you get my gist. Like, just don't do anything stupid. The name of the game is don't screw up Jey Uso from now until then, right? I would not have him in a major feud. I would have him come out there week after week after week. If I'm WWE, I'm going to book Jey Uso and Gunther in no other program. I'm going to build this thing up for 2 months, and it's just going to be Gunther going out there boasting about himself and Jey Uso going out there and winning matches. And Gunther can say, well, you didn't beat, and then Jey Uso's like, who? Like, it would be very smart if Gunther just gave him like a list of like, I bet you can't beat this guy, or this guy's going to beat you kind of thing. All right? Like, I can see that happening as well.